Hey guys, Harv here, and today I'm going to show you how to build my ship docking with Jeb. This is a ship that's capable of basically recreating an Apollo mission. If you haven't seen the video where I do that Apollo mission, there's an annotation right here for it. So what is docking with Jeb? Docking with Jeb, just to say what it can do, is capable of getting to any moon. I mean, moon and Minimus take basically the same amount of delta V to get to, so that's no problem. It's capable, and it can. You go down in this lander, land on the surface, do whatever, and then you come back up, rendezvous with the command module, which is also the orbital stage and the moon transfer stage and the return stage and the landing stage and everything else, which has 2 mods on it. This is why this video is a bit special, because I generally don't use mods. The first mod is one that I've made. If you don't know how to make it yourself, I might do a tutorial for that, or I might just post a download link, but it's called a crew cabin. You basically take the command module files and do some magic stuff with it to give it crew capacity, so that basically a person can squeeze into there and be stored. And the other mod is MechJeb, which allows control over debris, because of course when you go down in the lander and leave this in orbit, this is classed as debris. When you return to it, MechJeb allows you to control it and fly yourself home. That's basically it. So if you don't know how to get those 2 mods, then I'll probably make another video showing you how, but if you do, then continue with the video. Let's make a new ship. Let's do this. So luckily the complicated stuff is pretty much at the start, so it's going to be pretty easy to show you. Just scroll up. So we don't need a parachute. Just about put a parachute on there like I usually do, but you don't. This is just a lander, so just half a fuel tank, an LV909 liquid engine, and 3 landing legs. You could not use these, but they weigh hardly anything and they're very useful. Also I recommend putting them like this, so that A, they don't obstruct the hatchway, and also because this is a revision of my original design, one of 3. You can put these ladders here. These weigh 0.005, so it doesn't make that much difference. And that's it, that's the lander. And then the main stage, the orbital stage, we want to have, you could probably get away with having 2 parachutes, but we've got enough fuel to account for 3 redundancies. So again, not wanting to block the hatch, we're going to put them here. Put them as high up as possible on the command module. That's the second revision I've made, because if it happens to tear off and you have them down here, then you end up landing upside down because they're below the centre of gravity. So yeah, something to watch out for. You can just have them like that, that's fine. And we're going to want to have MechJeb, which is right here. You can use this. There are 4 MechJeb parts that come with the package, I believe. And loads of fuel tanks and stuff, but I don't bother installing them. There's 2 command pods, these things, so obviously you don't want them. And then there's 1 meter edition and the original one. The original one is really small, so that would actually go on top of this. It weighs less, so you might choose to use that, but I just don't like it. Ooh. I just don't like using it. I prefer having the 1 meter edition. I think it's fairer, because how much benefit you get for having that really outweighs any worries about weight. There we are. Just put that back. And we can, I mean, what you can do, just realising now, you can have RCS tank first and then MechJeb. And you can have the RCS thrusters still sitting, just have 6, it's a good number, still sitting on here. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. What I was going to suggest was having them on here, because you want the thrusters to be as far up as possible, but that does look a little cramped. So I'm just going to put them there. Yeah, that's fine, that works. Okay, and then we have, what do we want? We want to have advanced SAS. See how complicated this bit has become. It's very cramped, isn't it? Cramped but efficient. There we are. Tricoupler, and then really easy stage to build. 2 of those, and you can put that into 3. With vectoring engines, which are always the best. I do like vectoring engines. They're pretty efficient and they don't have too much thrust, but they are capable of lifting quite a bit of weight. Pretty powerful. So there we are, that's the orbital stage and the lander. So now the launch stage, and the launch stage I didn't really feature much in the video, so this is probably going to be quite important to watch. Launch stage is actually pretty easy to make. It's 1, 2, 3 fuel tanks. Oh wait, now I hope this works because I was having trouble a few minutes ago. Aerospikes are the best engines, if you might have figured it out. Ah, damn. And what you want to do is put 3 fuel tanks out on the sides like this, put your symmetry down to 1, and hopefully, yeah, attach it onto one of these, and then take that stack, and put it back to 3, and put it back on. Aerospikes are just hard to put on. It's really irritating because they're the engines that I use, not the most, because obviously you can't put decouplers underneath them, but the engines I use a lot, so those bugs with it are really annoying for me. So we want to drag out this stack, drag out one of these stacks because we're going to use them over and over again. If you don't know how to copy like I just did, you hold Alt, click, and then you just drag away. That's how copying works. Okay, so having dragged that away, we can just add some struts down here to support it. And then we can put these just on the sides here. And Alt and drag away. And just there. Just so everything's as level as possible. That one's a bit high, isn't it? Is that a bit better? Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so what do we end up with? We have 2 stacks, 4 stacks, 6 stacks, and 9 stacks of 3 fuel tanks and an aerospike. It's a pretty powerful stage, and it needs to be powerful. And because it's so powerful, we probably want to tie it together with some more struts. Just, oh, on that. Just down there and up here. Just to keep things nice and tidy. And then for control, seeing as these aren't vectoring engines, we can have 6 winglets on the outside. Like that. It looks pretty nice, I like that design. But of course solid rocket boosters are probably needed to make things better. I've used a combination of both the original and the new solid rocket boosters, because the new ones last longer but have less thrust. So I've had 3 of these just in the center of those stacks, and then we can take another one of lateral decouplers and use the originals. This calls for some staging, sorting out of the staging, but it's okay, it's not a problem. There we are, roughly level. It's a lot less elegant with these on the side, but they do help a hell of a lot. And finally, we'll want to put some, what are they called? I always forget what these are called. Launch stability enhancers. Basically what the launch tower should have been. There we are. It's pretty big, it's pretty ungainly. And of course, to stop things wobbling, as things tend to want to do, we can put some struts there and there, pretty even, and we can also put some struts along here. There we are. And you know, you could put more struts along the boosters and whatever, but I'm not really bothered about them because we get rid of them so soon that it doesn't really matter. But there you go. That's pretty much it. Now for the staging. So of course we want all the engines to fire at once, with the launch stability enhancers firing at the same time. So we'll just take these and drag them down, make sure that that's there, which it is, good. And we need to make a new stage. We want these to decouple, these small boosters engines to decouple first. There we are, that and that. Just hovering over it, you can see that it highlights, on the side it highlights which part it is. So that's how you can tell which ones to move, which icons to move. There we are. Now we have an empty stage here. This stage isn't doing anything, so we can move our next ones into it, and our next ones to fire are actually these ones. So just drag them down like that. Next stage is these 3 engines. That's good, that's fine. And then we want to, first we want to have these up here so that this decoupler fires. Oh, where is that decoupler? Yeah, there it is. That decoupler fires, and then we want that engine to start. And you know, we can drag down all the equivalent pieces in that stage, which includes all of this. And then these parachutes will fire themselves, but they won't activate because we'll be in space when we separate that stage. I wish they wouldn't fire themselves, but again, because this is classed as debris, they just will, which is a shame. But there we go. That is how to build docking with Jeb. There, I can't spell. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please do like the video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.